Hi, this is Asim.
This is Sujoy.
This is Amrita.
And you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast about the three main Khans of the Hindi film industry.
Aamir,
Salman,
And Shara.
Hi, you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast regular feed. Thank you so much for your support over the years. We now have a Patreon channel with bonus content and exclusive merch for those of you who would like to support us. Every dollar goes towards creating more and better content. Visit us at patreon.com/Khandaan podcast.
Hi and welcome to a new episode of Khandaan Podcast. My name is Asim Bernie and I'm joined with my lovely co-host Ammu and Suju.
Nammu. Namaskar.
What would your name be, Asa? Like Asu?
Asu.
नाम में ही sadness है.
That's a reference to the War 2 review that will be coming out later in this episode. We're doing a current episode, a current movies release episode, and then next week you're going to have the wrap up for the 80s, which is Mr. India and our thoughts about the 80s and the Dhamaka series. But yeah, we wanted to talk about the things that came out this week. I feel we're already a bit late for War 2. I feel the conversation is already done. This movie's already dead.
Yeah.
But we watched it, so you now have to listen to what we thought about
The
it,
movie's
right?
already dead. Asim has said it.
Yeah, it is. It's dead on arrival. But a few other things happened. Let's talk about a few of the trailers that dropped, right?
बॉलीवुड एक सपनों का शहर, पर यह शहर सबका नहीं होता। और इस सपनों की दुनिया में कुछ लोग हीरो के घर पैदा होते हैं और कुछ लोग हीरो पैदा होते हैं।
I don't know how to talk about this show because I still don't know the title of it. What the hell is this show supposed to be called?
It's a movie.
I have like what bads of Bollywood is what I see the hashtag.
Is that what Aryan is saying? What is he saying on screen?
I have no idea. I don't know like what word does it mean? Like I've seen people try to say like bastards of Bollywood, but that's not the number of letters that go into like bastards.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, like ballad. Somebody said like a ballads of Bollywood, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why would it be called ballads of Bollywood? Like, I don't get it. So yeah, you're right. Like, I also don't know what this show is called.
It's Aryan Khan's show, Shah Rukh
Yes.
Khan's son. The biggest surprise. So I think there's been like a kind of like this is getting a massive push, obviously from Netflix. Yay nepotism, amazing. But I think the first thing that was people were talking about immediately is how much Aryan's voice sounds like Shah Rukh's voice. It is uncanny, right?
Yeah.
I have this thing. I don't know if you have this. Is like when people used to call on the landline. My aunties and stuff like that would think it's dad. They would say, "Oh, Sadiq bhai," and I said, "No, it's Asim," because my voice sounds similar apparently to my dad's. So I have heard this, but even I, watching that first teaser, lifelong fan of Shah Rukh, Khandaan podcast host that has been doing more than 300 episodes about the Khans, I could not distinguish where Shah Rukh's Khan's voice stopped and Aryan started, I have to admit.
Yeah.
The only thing is, obviously, and I think it's the same with my dad and me, it's the vocabulary of the language that is definitely not there. Yeah, what did you think of the reveal of the first trailer and the launch and everything about whatever is from Bollywood, the show of Aryan?
I mean, I'll be honest, like I didn't actually watch the entire like launch event because I find launch events totally cringe. And that's true of like any launch event. Like I don't watch them. Like that's not my scene. But I did find it interesting that like all the Nepo kids went through a phase of being like, no, 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 actually, we're just like everybody else. And now, post Sayara, I feel like they're all just sort of like, there's been a switch, and they're just like, no, actually, like, this is fine, this is good. And I don't know, like, maybe for Aryan, like, there's no way that he can run away from that legacy. You know what I mean? Like, he looks exactly like Shah Rukh, he sounds exactly like Shah Rukh. And no matter how many times he's been telling everyone from like Karan Johar to Farah Khan to like shut up about his work, they're all out there talking about his business all the time and about how much they love it. I mean, what's his name? Reed Hastings or whatever, like the CEO of Netflix. He was on podcast talking about how much he enjoyed this show. So it's not something that he can get away from. So yeah, he just sort of like really leaned into it, and I think it's kind of worked out for him, to be honest, because the entire Shah Rukh nation has been activated, and they're all just like, here comes our prince, very hypocritical when you consider how they've been treating Suhana. But for Aryan, they're going like full on crazy.
I mean, it's the Ibrahim Ali Khan thing all over again, right? Like, we literally saw it with Sara Ali Khan and Ibrahim Ali, where red carpet rollout for the boy and, like, just big bats for the girl, which is just, it's interesting that a whole generation that's made a big talking point about how toxic the previous generation is, and the aunties and the uncles are doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
that
we're upholding the patriarchy.
Yeah, no lessons have been learned, and it's exactly what our people before that were doing. So it's kind of a shame, unfortunately. But I think, can I just say, like, weirdly, I do think Aryan is more handsome than Shah Rukh in a way. Like, I think it's just being rich, maybe.
I also really enjoy. I'll tell you what I enjoyed the most out of that launch event was like Gauri sitting there like, I won, bitches.
Yeah.
Like, she's got her son, she's got Shah Rukh, and she's just like a cat with all the cream in the world, and it was just like, it was really, I mean, I would too if I were in Gauri's shoes. That is exactly the expression that I would have as well.
But what are your expectations about the show, Sujoy? Have you seen a bit of the footage, a bit of
I've
the
only
teaser?
seen the trailer. It feels like a mix of Zoya and Farah's, insider take on Bollywood, Nepo babies, outsider comes into the world and shakes up the system, I suppose. That's what they're going for. It's interesting to see they have taken, the Dharma people into the cast, basically, with Raghav Juyal and Laksha, who are the protagonists, I suppose. Interestingly, Bobby Deol is also in it. I was surprised to see Salman have a cameo in the trailer as well.
Best part of it got me excited.
And I'm looking forward to it. I would just like to judge the show on its own merits. I have literally no expectations as of now.
Yeah, in a way, I don't want to overhype it in my mind either. I think I'm excited for it and I want to watch it. But we have to also just see that, it's going to be a first-time director making. I feel for the boy, the massive responsibility that's been put on his shoulders to do this. You get the chance,
and he's got writing credits. That's what excites me more.
Yeah.
Like, what does he? What is his worldview? On this.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
ऐसे मैं तो थोड़े मस्ती वाले कन्फेशन एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था। ऐसे तुमने कभी चर्च में?
छी? एक बार कॉलेज स्टाफ रूम में किया था। सिर्फ किस? तुमने भी ऐसा कुछ नॉटी किया?
हाँ। टेनिस कोर्ट में, बुर्ज खलीफा की बालकनी में, एक बार गाड़ी में और एक ट्रेन के वॉशरूम में।
किस लड़की को कैसे पसंद है सब पता ना?
क्यों? तुम फंस रही हो?
परदेसिया है तेरे प्यार।
Another release that's happening, and I think this is a conversation I wanted to see what Amrita thought about this. I mean, most of the conversation I want to hear what Amrita thinks about anyway. But
मेरा कोई नहीं पूछता.
बाद में,
I want to know, Sujoy. I want to know.
the promotion for Param Sundari has been happening. Like a lot of tracks have been dropping, which I actually have been appreciating. I like the music of Param Sundari. I do have to say, like, aside before I get into the main thought, is you have the first song. What is the first song called? Is it
Pardesiya.
I don't know. Yeah, is it
Pardesiya.
Pardesiya? It's shot so badly. Like they have this very low close-up angle of Janvi's face, and I do not think it's flattering at all. I don't know who shot that, but it's hard to make Janvi not look good, and they managed to do this in the song.
I just want to point out, I was telling Sujoy this while we were waiting for you, Asam. The director of Param Sundari is Tushar Jalota, who's the son of Anup Jalota, which might not mean anything to you, but in India, that's like hilarious. Like Anup Jalota used to make these cassette tapes, like back in the day, like Pankaj Udas and Anup Jalota were like the two people.
He's the bhajan lord of India.
Yes.
He
And
literally launched T-Series into career.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Like T-Series is built on the backs of Anup Jalota and Anuradha Podwal,
Yeah.
and it's his son,
Right. Yeah. Also, like that thing that they styled on. Sorry, I have a even more. I'm just totally congested. So names and all that is not. Who's the hero? Siddharth.
Siddharth
Malhotra.
Malhotra.
Yeah, Malhotra. The thing he has, it's just weirdly styled. This whole movie is weirdly styled, but it's again one of those north and south love stories of something we've seen a lot of times. But I think a lot of people have taken offense with how Janvi's character has been portrayed as a South Indian. And I think, I mean, have you seen those reactions, Amrita? Have you seen what the kind of
Yes.
vibe of it is? What do you
So
think?
all of Malayali Instagram has been up in arms about this, right? And they've basically been mocking it hardcore. I think what happened was like when the Kerala story came out, and right now the Kerala story is in the news again because it won a national award, which is a huge joke. And in that they basically showed like Malayali women going around with like jasmine in their hair and like these really unfortunate clothes, and basically everybody was like, bro, like Malayalis are literally the most cosmopolitan, group of people anywhere in India, because like all of us are expats, every family, you could be from like a very low income family and you would have somebody who's like living abroad. So we've always been like dressing like normal people. Like, I don't know where this like village aesthetic is coming from. But also, Janvi is uniquely gifted in that any language she speaks sounds like an alien language. Like we already saw that with French, and like a lot of people say that about her Hindi, and now she's trying to say words in Malayalam that the rest of us are just like, I have no idea what that is. But also her name in this film is Tekapati Sundari Damodaran Pillai, which is like nobody in Kerala follows that format when they're talking about their names. And somebody like the one thing you need to know about Malayalis is that we are vicious. So somebody
Like we did not know what Malayali we have on this podcast.
But somebody was just like, who in Kerala calls their who in Kerala is named Sundari? A cow. Literally, people call their cows Sundari, and that is actually true. Like nobody is like calling like their kids Sundari. Like, what the hell? So yeah, it's just very funny. But also with a lot of this stuff, a lot of it is just like rage baiting for the clicks, right? Like it's in the scheme of things, like Janvi Kapoor cosplaying a Malayali, like who cares about it? It's hardly the worst representation that we've ever had in our lives. And they're not serious because a lot of the videos are also like, why did they take Janvi? They could have taken somebody else. And one of the people they consistently put forward is Kalyani Priyadarshan, who is a very lovely girl, but she is basically the Janvi Kapoor of Malayalam cinema because everybody trolls Kalyani all the time, and they're all talking about like, oh, she can't act, she can't talk, she's terrible at her dialogue delivery, we hate her, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden they're just like, well, why can't she be in this role? Well, because this is a movie made by like a bunch of Bollywood people, and they already have their own Janvi Kapoor. Why do they need to come down and like get your Janvi Kapoor? So it makes no sense.
Also, where is Janvi originally? Isn't she South Indian?
She's half South Indian, yeah.
Yeah.
She's half Punjabi, half South Indian, half.
I think I've seen so many of her videos where she talks. She's very much like, she's more South Indian than she's Punjabi. Like, she's like lives there. She has a house there. That's how she projects herself before this movie, right?
I think she basically leans into her South Indian heritage as a way to honor her mother's memory, but that's basically it. I don't think she's fluent in Tamil or anything, or Telugu. Like, Sridevi is from a Telugu family settled in Madras, so her primary languages were Telugu and Tamil. But I don't think either one of her daughters are fluent in either one of those languages.
So, Joy, are you excited for Param Sundari, or is this one that you will skip?
I don't know. I don't feel like rushing to the cinema to watch this. I might
I'll watch it.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I mean, I think Param Sundari and Abir Gulal, is it Abir Gulal? Gulal is coming up the same day. So I'm probably going to lean towards Abir Gulal.
Is Abir Gulal coming out in theatrical release?
In the UK it is, the 29th, I think. Next week it should be coming out. This week actually, yeah.
I think it's coming on streaming in India, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think even in the poster I received from the PR agencies, it was literally not releasing in India or something like that. So I'll have a double check. But because the PR of this movie is crazy, it used to be Abir with the I, now it's Abir with double E. So if they're messing up the titles, it's hilarious because in the trailer, it still says it with the I instead of the double E, which is like what are we even doing? Complete mess.
ஒருத்தன் பிறந்த உடனே அவன் எவன் கையில சாகுனான்னு நெத்தில எழுதிருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஒரு மனுஷன் இந்த உலகத்திலேருந்து ட்ரேஸே இல்லாம தூக்க முடியும் தெரிஞ்சா it can be a disaster. எனக்கு என்னமோ இந்த நெட்வொர்க்கால மட்டும் அவனுங்க பெரிய ஆளான மாதிரி தெரியல.
You guys saw Coolie, right?
Yes.
You want to talk about it a bit?
Do we have to?
You don't have to if you don't want to. I vehemently said I don't watch Rajinikanth movies. Like, this is not my thing. I will never get it.
You know what? Jailer was like way more fun than this movie.
Yeah,
like
I did see Jailer.
Jailer was actually entertaining compared to this. But also, like, this movie was just mid. It was just like, and also the reason why I really dislike this movie is because of Shruti Haasan's character.
Yeah.
And I'm not a hater. Like, I don't hate Shruti Haasan at all. Like, I have no issues. Again, like, you're talking about Janvi Kapoor. She's like the Telugu Janvi Kapoor, you know? I feel like every industry has a Janvi Kapoor.
It's so unfortunate though. Like, she's, film family royalty in a way. She's the daughter of the famous Kamal Hassan. And then you see all these interviews of her where she's giving like for promotion of Coolie, and she's like, oh, I had to shoot this scene for Rajinikanth and I was so intimidated. Okay, that's respect. But then she was like, I had to prepare myself because in one scene I was screaming at him. That's acting. You are 10 plus years into the industry and you are, this is BS. I was just so supremely annoyed. Yeah.
But also, the character that she was playing was such an idiot. Like, there is like, this woman cannot do anything for herself, right? Like, she's just like sort of like being moved around like a mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
There is a scene
a
where
weeping
like
mannequin.
Yeah,
She's crying
like there's
throughout the
a
movie.
like there's a scene where she's on a train, and Shobin Shahir, who's like the bad guy, and he's sort of like the Terminator because like he won't be stopped,
And he
and
won't
he
die.
followed her. Yeah, and he follows her onto the train, and he is literally beating her, like like beating her, like he's like kicking her in the midriff, like he's just like beating her. And there are other people, like including women, like old aunties on that train who are trying to fight him off, and she's just like staring at him like, oh,
मैं तो
like what is
मैं तो
happening?
चांद हूँ मुझे कुछ नहीं आता. It's pretty much that. Oh my
And
god.
it's so stupid, and like there's like they never explain why she's so angry with Rajnikant,
Yeah,
to the point where like she kicks him out of her father's funeral. Like why?
yeah.
Like what is
Never
that about?
explained. Like she does not know who Rajnikant is, but you won't touch my Baba's corpse. Like what the hell is happening? There is no history between them, and that's the first
Yeah.
scene. It's never
And
like
then
explained.
there's like, and every single time she actually employs agency, like the time when she like convinces Rajnikant that they should help Shobin Sahir, like Dayal, like it's always like the
Worst decision ever.
decision. Yeah, and I'm just like, she's just like a giant plot device the entire time. Like there's no like character as such. She's just there so that the plot can keep moving. Um, and it just annoys the shit out of me when I see female characters like that in the year of our Lord 2025. So I really hated that. And also, but I did have a thought when I was watching this movie, and I went on the first day, the day that it released, to watch this because I have a friend who's like a huge Rajnikant fan. And I did have a thought because like Upendra came out, Nagarjuna was fantastic. I really enjoyed Nagarjuna and Upendra the most out of like all the different characters, and also Shobin Sahir, of course. But I had a thought, which was that basically the big Bollywood blockbuster is dead. Like they can't compete because the way these pan India things are structured, they're basically getting the fan bases of all these people activated and to come together.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in a way that is formulaic, but is also working for them. And they have a lock, especially when you compare this to like War 2, which we will discuss in a minute. They have a lock on like the elevation scenes, the introduction scenes, the like all of those things. They have it figured out, bro. And I don't know how Bollywood is going to compete on that same playing field, because they need to figure out what their language is, because right now a lot of Bollywood stuff is just trying to mimic this language, and it's not going to work for them.
To counter that, I would say I am a Desi Hindi film audience first, right? So for me, the fan service that a Coolie provides does not work as much. Like the Upendra scenes, the scenes where even the introduction of Aamir Khan in this movie. As an Aamir Khan fan, it does not work because it just feels very caricaturish, very like fan service bait, and you can tell that that's what they're going for from a mile.
Was it fan service? Because I believe that that's what they went for. But my God, like I need to describe this for you, Asim, because you are the number one Aamir fan on our show.
It was the only reason I would have considered watching Coolie.
So there's like this sort of like, I don't know, like the biggest kingpins in the world have come together on some random beach somewhere, right? And this helicopter touches down, and then there's like dust flying everywhere, and the door opens, and out jump like a trio of huskies, right?
Yeah.
And then holding their leash is Aamir Khan, and Aamir has like those thugs of Hindustan muche, like those big muche, or the Mangal Pandey muche basically. and he's
A
wearing
sleeve of tattoos. He's wearing like a sleeveless vest and the highest heels ever.
like he's basically Justin Bieber, Justin Bieber with huskies, right? And then he has this expression on his face. I think he was trying to play it for laughs, but he basically just looks like he's developmentally challenged, like the whole time, where he's just like, oh, what happened? Oh, who's this? Oh, what are we doing here? Like literally, he's like mouth breathing through the entire scene. And I'm just like, why? Why would you do that? Like, what kind of artistic choice is this?
He got a laugh in the nice cinema though when he started speaking Tamil to Rajnikant.
Oh yeah, like that happened even in mine, where everybody was just like, "Oh, that's really unfortunate upon unfortunate."
Maybe he was doing Janvi a favor.
Bonnie slipped him like an extra
Yeah,
500
like it
under the
could be
table.
worse. It could be worse, guys. But what is he supposed to be? Like he's just like a friendly appearance, or is he like a
Yeah.
I guess there will be a sequel into the world of Coolie, because
Oh,
this is not part of the
hope not.
Loki verse or the Loki cinematic universe where the Vikrams and the other movies that Lokesh Kanakaraj is making. This is a different universe, in I suppose, where. But yeah, he could probably be making a sequel where Daha, or Aamir Khan's character is called Daha. He could be collaborating with Mr. Cooley.
Also, this is like, marked as a Anirudh musical, which seems to be a thing that people do. How's the music?
It's boring.
Yeah, it's pretty much same old, same old.
Okay.
Like
Glad I didn't
again,
watch that.
Jailer was like way better. Like that Monica song was just like stupid. Like I didn't really care for
Yeah.
it. Tamanna song was way better in Jailer.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, disappointing.
Yes.
Coolie, which seems to be a theme because we're now talking about War 2.
मैं शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं अपना नाम, अपनी पहचान, अपना घर परिवार सब त्याग कर एक साया बन जाऊंगा, एक गुमनाम बेनाम अनजान साया। मैं शपथ लेता हूं मैं वो सब करूंगा जो कोई और नहीं कर सकता, जो जंग कोई नहीं लड़ सकता वो मैं लड़ूंगा।
Guys, I didn't go with high expectations for this movie. Like, I came into it late. All the reviews were out already. I didn't watch the reviews because I usually don't watch the reviews before we record ours. So I had to really, not click on anything. But before that, I've been talking to you guys about for weeks. This movie smells like a turd, right? Like there was something in the glint of Hrithik's squint that I felt that he is not happy with what's happened with this movie. There's not been any promotions. There's not been any noise about it.
No.
We didn't even know exactly when it was coming out. And I'm also not such a big Hrithik fan as you guys are. Maybe, he's fine when he's in a good movie, but I'm not like every time like I'm excited for a Hrithik movie because it's like a 50-50 chance. Like it could be really bad for me, So I come in with really low expectations for a movie, and the movie still being able to disappoint me to the point where at the interval point I'm sending you guys messages that I'm really considering walking out. I didn't think War could be this bad, but it is really, really that bad, unfortunately. What did you think, Sujal?
I'll quickly mention one thing before we dive into it. So Taran Adarsh, our holy god of reviewers, he's the Lord and Savior of movie reviews. He basically tweeted a 1.5-star review of this movie, which says, weakest film in YRF spy universe, has star power, scale, style, and stunts, but lacks soul. Writing is the biggest culprit here. Not even Hrithik Roshan and NTR can save this royal mess. And then YRF, cherry picked those lines and just put has star power, scale, style, and stunts, and put it on a promo poster as a good review on their War 2 review posters. It's amazing how Bollywood PR works. Like AI cannot replicate this. I love it.
I think this is standard practice though. Like I saw those messages going around. Like I've seen this many times happen in Hollywood movies too. Like I think this is just how PR works. And also I didn't know if this was a genuine poster of YRF or it was kind of a joke that they were doing.
No,
So I
no,
wasn't
it's
even
it's from
100%
their
sure.
official Instagram account.
Ah, okay, okay. It was okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, because I remember this scene. First time I saw this was for Tom Hardy movie where he's
Yeah,
playing the twin, the Craze,
yeah.
and
They
they got a
put in the two
two-star
stars
review,
in between the
and they
two
put the two
markings.
stars in between of all of the
That's
other
smart,
stars.
though. That's smart. That's
Yeah,
smart. That's smart.
yeah. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting. But yeah, Suroy, what did you think of War Two? I think you were the most positive out of us, no?
Yeah, I think the timing was fortunate for War too, because I had watched Coolie earlier, and my mind was totally like drained. So I was like happy to accept anything in some logical form. Do you know what I
So
mean?
War Two was your Coolie after Coolie, basically. You know, when you like put in water in your mouth and you spit it out, it's just like
So cool. Oh, that Coolie. Got it. Oh dear. But yeah, it's more gay than war. I would say that.
Oh my god, yes, my god.
It's
They literally have a scene where like the two of them are riding off into the sunset.
yeah.
yeah,
You
I feel
know,
there were
like
like a lot of moments where the writers were like, "This is okay, but make it gayer." Like
Yeah.
that was the note that they kept getting. I
Yeah.
felt
I
like.
did laugh out loud though, where where Junior India just starts calling him Kabbu. Like, I still don't know why that was written. Like why what was going through the mind of Aditya Chopra when he was just like, you know what? These two should be like friends and he should call him Kabbu. Kabbu and Raghu. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Like
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And that to be the trigger for the flashback. Oh my god.
But the kids were great. Like the baby Raghu and baby Kabbu were like pretty good. Like especially baby Raghu, like he was really like he really sold it. Um yeah, but that was hilarious.
But yeah, they sort of wrote themselves into a corner because the events of war lead into this Kabir going undercover and exploring the dark side of the world, and then him becoming this mercenary. But then how do you escape from that? You need a formidable, antagonist, and to have the same sort of equal footing. But to match Hrithik's on-screen presence, you have NTR Jr., who is in a totally different movie in this. So I feel
Yeah.
like those expectations were not matched. So that's why the movie was like, I don't know where the vernacular of this movie is. It felt like masala and mass at the moment, but also they had to shoehorn the spy universe for a bit, and then yeah, it just felt like
I think
so off.
I think that's very true because the Sid Anand universe of like the spy universe is not a masala universe. It's not not this kind of like mass masala
Yeah.
universe. It's a very sophisticated, like only people who have flown in an airplane can appreciate my movies kind of universe. But Ayan was trying to make a mass masala
Yeah.
universe. And the only person that got that memo was Tarak.
Yeah.
And so he showed up the first, I don't know, few times that I saw him on screen, I was so like it was so jarring to me because it was like I've seen this guy act. I know he can act. Why does it look like he can't act in this movie? And then I realized it's because he is matching the meter of the movie, but the movie which is not like something like any of the others are doing in the movie. So he's
Yeah.
basically just sort of left to like hang
Yeah,
dry.
everybody else is still in the spy universe of war. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to foil a global threat. There's Bond villains and stuff. But whereas Tarak just enters into the movie, he plays a song into the audio jack of this heist he's pulling off, and then he plays the Shaitan soundtrack, and he's like, Mehu Shaitan and all of that, and that's such a like a mass movie entry scene. It's just
That that scene where he's having his
Sim is
first
so
meeting.
getting bored out of our analysis of what to. He was like, "Tum khatam karo, मैं बोलता हूँ."
No, no, I'm listening. I'm fascinated about but you guys have really put more thought into the movie than I. Like, I have no notes about this as much. Like,
Perfect.
I
No
did.
notes.
No, I like within the moment the wolf scene happened, and you see
The bad CGI.
Hrithik Roshan wearing Rakesh Roshan's old wigs that they've now cut from the sides. I stopped caring about the movie. Like, it was like an instant thing, and I was like, man, I have like the whole movie to do.
I was low-key expecting when Hrithik Roshan enters into that Japanese Yakuza scene, he would say Mushi Mushi Yamamoto-san. That would have been a nod. But
There's so many like you're talking about nods. It could be in there because it feels like this whole movie is about whatever Ayan Mukherjee finds cool. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
watched Shogun. That's cool. Let's put some Shogun in there. Oh, but I also like ninjas, so let's put ninjas in there. And then I also like Pirates of the Caribbean, so let's call the pirate villain Barbosa. And I like Tenet, so I'll get the music. But I like Inception, so let's have a fight scene on the jet. And it's all of these things mishmashed together, and I think I may have given this analogy before, but I'll do it again. I'll explain to Amrita. There's a video game called Street Fighter. You might know it. It's quite popular, and it was a game changer in terms of how video games were made. And the one thing that they did about those in the characters, it's two people fighting against each other, is they put weight on the character. So back in the day when you had two characters fighting, you could just jump as many times as you wanted. It wouldn't matter. They would all jump as the same height. But Street Fighter had different characters. So you had a sumo wrestler. He could jump slowly. He wouldn't jump fast. Another, like the girl could jump really, really fast. So they added weight to the characters to make this game feel real. And that's what changed gaming dynamics forever. This movie, the characters have no weight. None of it matters. There is no sense of who's in love with who's supposed to be going out with who, where the allegiances are. Even the dialogues don't matter because either somebody's the ultimate soldier or they're the ultimate warrior, and they can't decide which one is the ultimate that you should be, because Luthra is the warrior, the soldier, and there's nobody like him. He's the soldier that nobody's ever seen. But then Hrithik is the warrior. Then what does that leave Kiara, and what does that leave Pathan and Tiger? Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, and it's almost becoming harmful to it's harmful to the movie, but it's harmful to this universe that they're trying to create. I know that a lot of people are now saying, it's the end of the universe and the spy universe is dead. That might happen. But Marvel, when they were doing their universe, it wasn't like a perfect run. They could have like a mid-movie in there and still kind of, pull it back together. But I just don't see this happening with the Yash Raj universe. I don't think that they have like a game plan, or they didn't even have an understanding of how to build a universe.
I mean, they retconned the universe. It was never supposed to be a universe.
Yeah.
It was just like Tiger.
Yeah.
But yeah, like also the thing that you're saying about it being sort of cobbled together, that is so true, because this movie doesn't have an ending. It has like 5 different endings, like it has an ending, and then it's just like, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then this other thing happened. And you're like, what is happening right now? Like, why are we doing this? And I was talking earlier about like Kiara, about like the lack of, the infuriating representation of women in Coolie, but that is also kind of true for Kiara's character in this film, because both Tarak and Hrithik get intro scenes, like massive action sequences, right?
Yeah.
And then Kiara gets to like walk into a room. Like, I'm like, she's a badass soldier who's like saving people, blah blah blah.
Her scene is literally getting a participation medal, by the way.
Yes.
See, that's what she's getting, yeah.
That's literally it. And I'm just like, that's just like the worst thing that I've ever seen. This movie was it wasn't even mid, it was just bad in my opinion.
Yeah. I just, with Kiara, I just find it, that meme of Dua Lipa where they go, go girl, give me nothing. That's what I was constantly thinking of.
And
Kiara,
I would say it's not because of Kiara. It's the writing just does not take her into account at all. It's just like
Yeah, but
you have a sexy scene with a bikini. You are Luthra's daughter, so you will be able to have some sort of an army background, and you have some sort of a history with Hrithik. But that's it. That's it. What we are giving you.
the whole sense of that bikini sequence that I understood is that orange bikini bad, green bikini good.
Yeah.
That's what it's, that's what it's saying. But also just it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that they had a love story 15 years ago, which like when what
Yeah.
how does that fit into anything? And then she's like, oh, but he also has this affair and this daughter with somebody else. Now suddenly she's this daughter, and then I feel the daughter gets more of a badass entry scene than Kiara does. You
Yeah.
know, like it was like, oh, is she known? Is she an influencer that I don't know, that I'm too old for? You know, and yeah, it's a shame because I don't. The Kiara got this. She was also supposed to be in Dawn 3. Like she's getting these massive projects. But I don't know why you hire a Kiara Advani. What is she good at that nobody else is good at? And I still haven't figured that out, unfortunately, for her. So I do think it's not her fault, but if you are casting her, give her something to shine at least, right? And she's been acting for a while. I still haven't seen that from her. Like the only one that I thought was good she was in was that Kartik Aaryan movie, which I'm blanking on the name of, but I thought she was good in that one. Satya Prem ki something tatha. Yeah, that one. I thought she was good in that. But yeah. Hrithik is really bad in this too. I'll be honest. I feel like his shtick, like a lot of times with sequels, it's like, just give us what we had and give us more of it. But he just feels like he's sleepwalking. Like he has no engagement with what he's doing. I don't know. Usually, like even in a bad movie, I feel Hrithik gives it his all. But here he's like, why am I on a steroid scheme for this movie? Like that's what it really feels like. I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's the same slow motion walk. It's the same looking at the left. Every time he looks to the left, it's like the toothpick thing, the bright eyes reflection on his eyes, and it's like, it's a kind of a playbook we've seen so many times, and it's just done worse. I feel. I did find it a few interesting thoughts that I had while watching the movie, though. Is the big Kali reveal scene that happens.
Kali.
Kali, sorry, yeah. Because it's like this international group of neighbors that don't like India. And all the countries that India does not have a visa scheme with, basically. So, UAE is not involved. Donald Trump is not involved. Canada is not involved. Britain is not involved. The people that have actual evilness in them, the countries that have an evil engine are not involved, but Myanmar is, that kind of thing. So it really feeds into this narrative of India surrounded by its enemies, apparently, which, like Israel, sometimes I would wonder, like, what are you doing that all of your neighbors hate you, sometimes. But anyway, that's beside the point. I also like that all of the Kali villains come into their national dress when they come into this AI translated thing that they have on,
Except for France, where it's like some lady, like auntie in a sari and a bindi. Well,
No, that's
I'm like,
Bangladesh.
That's Bangladesh.
was that Bangladesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
But she
downing
was-
whiskey,
but she-
though. She's
but
downing
she's-
whiskeys.
But wasn't she like murdered in Paris or something?
Yeah, she was murdered in Paris. Yeah.
But she's not French, okay?
No, she's Bengali.
Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
I was like
and,
really confused.
My best take from the Kali conglomerate is that the Indian representative who is called Gautam Gulati. It's such a non-villain name. It's just Ayan Mukherjee just like the alliteration of it, and he's just like, our villain will be called Gulati.
Yeah. I like that Pakistan has so much to say in an organization named Kali. Like that would happen, and at the end he gets him because he's eating kebabs in Islamabad in the road, and that's how he gets killed.
I just call them the Kaliyo ke Chaman.
Yeah. I also like that the fact that, Hrithik's character is like, no, no, I'm a freelancer, I'm a contractor, and Kali is like, no, no, we want you like as an employee, and he's like, okay, that's fine. Like, I understand in this economy, like you have
Yeah.
to be gainfully employed, like it's you need to make
But that
choices.
whole point, yeah, a lot of it does not make sense. Like they want to infiltrate this conglomerate, but then like why they had to sacrifice Luthra and all of that. It's just
Yeah,
And then at the end of it, it's just like the two of them just being like, like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and they're just like sort of like going around the place and just going like, okay, we're gonna kill these people and we're gonna kill those people. I'm like, well, if it was that easy, then why didn't you do it
Yeah.
before?
and also just such lack of imagination in terms of filmmaking. Like I just feel it's like, at least if you're giving us like a 5 minute sequence of them killing all of these people, make it interesting, make it funny, make it
Yeah.
at least like, wow, visually interesting, and it gives us nothing. Like, also I just had a problem with, like, I don't know if you guys did, but there used to be a cinematic convention where a hero would not be killing children, dogs, and women. Like, that doesn't happen. Here, they're just point blank shooting women left and right in the head. And it's such a weird thing to see cinematically, where we've become, these are supposed to be Hrithik freaking Roshan. And he's just like point blank, assassinating women in the elevator in Paris. Just found that a really weird cinematic choice, which those are the things where I feel there's this kind of like, trolling in cinema, in terms of, that Ayan Mukherjee seems to have, like, no, not trolling,
No,
juvenile, kind of
no,
juvenile approach to
no.
filmmaking.
It's a lack of. It's a like there's no center in anything. Like, this is my problem with Brahmastra as well, because a lot of
Yeah.
people were just like, oh my god, like Brahmastra, I love it, I love it. And I'm like, I never loved it, because like, as somebody who enjoys fantasy and as somebody who grew up in comic book culture, like, the thing that really bothered me about Brahmastra is that it had no emotional heart.
Had no weight. Exactly the problem that I'm
Yeah.
saying. It had
And
no
that is
weight.
exactly the problem with this as well. Like, in the first war, Khalid's death and his life had an emotional weight to it. There was like, he was out there to prove something about his dad, and the fact that somebody stole his identity, and like, like all of that. And then like Hrithik had to like go out there and like prove that this guy is like a good guy. The fact that his mother still remembers him, like all of that is like, has an emotional weight to it, which like none of the stuff here. Like, I don't care about Raghu and Kabbu at all. Like, like, what the hell is that about? No one cares.
Also, when you see like the interval happens and you see those flashbacks, the thing I was thinking about is Gunde now part of the Yash Raj universe? Because this feels suddenly very Gunde.
Yeah.
The movie with Arjun Kapoor and Ranveer Singh. It was exactly the same thing. Two wayward
Like,
kids.
somebody on our Patreon was asking if the Indian audience just likes man-child cinema. And honestly, I feel like it's not so much the Indian audience, it is that the Indian directors really are living out their man-child fantasies.
Yeah.
And I think when Ayan was doing things like Wake Up Sid and Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, that was fine. But he's really out of his depth when it comes to movies like Brahmastra and War 2.
But I was wondering about that though. Like, is the blame only on Ayan though? Because he's surrounded with dialogues are by Abbas Tyrwala, which we were praising in Pathan. There's shit here.
Yeah.
Right? The screenplay is written by Sridhar Raghavan. Amazing writer. He's done so much good work, It's absolute crap here. Produced by Yashraj and Aditya, which we were praising for Sayara, where we were saying they give you everything that you want. The budget this is a huge budget, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, where does the blame lie? And
A lot of it lies with Aditya Chopra, to be very honest.
yeah,
Because the whole spy universe thing is Aditya Chopra's baby. And like, Ayan is a hired gun, like, Brahmastra was actually Ayan's baby, and you can like place Brahmastra's, blame on his shoulders, sure. But the spy universe is really Aditya Chopra's baby, and I think he has a co-writing credit for
Yeah, he
this,
does. Yeah,
for War 2.
yeah.
And, it's shit. Like, I'm sorry, but like, Aditya Chopra, the last good thing that he wrote was DDLJ, and that was apparently written by Honey Rani, and the Chopras basically stole credit. So I don't know, man. Like, like Mohabbatein was a drag, Befikre was terrible, Bunty or Bubbly 2, like, why does that even exist? And then now War 2
But
again, why?
even like the songs are bad. Like, like
Yeah,
this
the songs
is
are
a
terrible.
Preetham soundtrack, right? I'm saying like they are surrounded by a good
Yeah.
team, and that's what a production house can do, right? They can
Mhm.
put a good team together. He probably the writing
Yeah.
credit is an idea, and then I feel Yashraj does have faith in its filmmakers, right? The people that are making the film, and I think that's where the conception of it is just like completely
Well,
bad.
but that's also where, like, that's the job of the director, right? Like, the
Mm.
director is the
Yeah,
curator. Like,
yeah.
you can have like an amazing team, but the director is the guy who like brings it all together and delivers something that is like his perspective.
Yeah. And yeah,
And that's what
that's so.
Siddhanand is actually good at. Like,
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
would say like
sorry, go ahead.
I like this movie a lot less now. Now that we have had a discussion.
But what did you like about it? Like, like because I've been quite negative. But
I
what
just
is it
felt
that
like
stood out?
that the sequence of event made sense, and that was enough for me on that evening.
It's chronological.
Yeah, like Coolie made no sense, man. Coolie made no sense to my
That's true.
brain. That's why I was
That's
like
true.
happy that somebody had coherence in their in their brain, and somebody was not suffering from like short-term memory or something when they wrote War 2, and that worked for me. Also, like the whole thing when the boys unite at the end, like Kabbu and Raghu, and they were like, "Ha, chalo, abhi hum log villains ko marte hain," and that was like, oh, they ended on a happy note, and it was like, yeah.
I do wish they tied it in with like we had a special appearance from Alia for Alpha, or
Mhm.
like even Sharvari. Like they tied it in some way instead of them looking at a CGI, sunset and talking about Kabir aayega, or like Tiger aayega, Pathan aayega, and that's it.
I did laugh out loud though when they have like their big like ice cave like fight.
Mhm.
Which was like, I'm sorry, but that was like a really cheap moment. Like, they were just trying to recreate the War One aesthetic. And I'm like, you should have just found like another place for them to have like a fight. But anyway, they have their fight, and then like Hrithik, like he impales Hrithik on like an iron rod, and then Hrithik like pulls him in and like impales him on that same iron rod, and I laughed out loud in the theater because
Yeah.
I was like, this is the most like gay thing that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like that's definitely a note. Like make it much more romantic.
I feel like Ayan is just like, going through Bollywood, just putting topi on all his producers. And he just like did this, and he was just like, you know what? None of these boomers will know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
In my screening, when in that whole cave scene, Hrithik says to Raghu, right? He says like, I wanted to be with you. I wanted to grow up to become you," and everybody started laughing. Like Hrithik Roshan is saying that to Tarak.
yeah.
You wanted to grow up and look like him. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's really weird. Also, the whole idea of making him like the child Kabir such a weak character,
Mhm.
like it feels weird to then like this becomes such a badass. Like it weakens the Kabir character
Yeah.
to see him that way as a young child. I feel. No, it's a really oddly made movie. Did you guys stick around for the end credits? Even like there's a post credit sequence
I
too,
only
right?
saw the Bobby
The
Deol
alpha
cameo.
one. Yeah,
There's a
the
Bobby Deol
alpha.
cameo. I didn't even see that. I walked away. I think
Oh,
there's a
with
Bobby
So
Deol
Alpha.
cameo.
there's an alpha.
There is. I didn't know. That's why I was saying. Oh, okay. What happens?
You just see Bobby Deol, and he's tattooing the Greek alphabet alpha on his little child, and the little girl is like, what are you doing? And he's like, there's like one warrior in every village, every town who's like the best, and you're going to be that warrior. You're
They're
going to be
back with
the
the
alpha.
Warriors. Okay.
And she's like, yeah, I'm going to be the alpha. And then that's
Okay.
it.
Okay, I walked away already. I was like, I just don't care anymore. Unfortunately, yeah, it's unfortunate. I feel they should have like organically maybe put it in a bit earlier. Would have elevated the movie a little bit. Unfortunately, yeah. Any final words on War 2?
Don't watch it.
Yeah, it's really bad. Also, the climax was that shot where they shot Hrithik's Mountain Dew ad.
I have no idea what that is.
The same thing with the mountain hooks and things like that.
Yeah, it's shot in YRF Studio.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt like a very unfortunate. So
Also, the VFX in this movie is shit. Like, my God, it's shit.
There's a sequence where you see Kiara where she's proposed and it didn't go away the way she wanted, and she's walking away and then she walks back in.
Yeah, and time has passed.
So badly done CGI.
Yeah.
You can see that the old Kiara is like superimposed on the new shot. It's so badly done. It's really bad. But even like the whole jet sequence, right? Like, it again has no weight. Like, it makes no dynamic sense of where, like, clearly like a lot of these sequences are inspired for something like Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah.
But the Fast and Furious have always maintained a sense of space in the action. You know every part of what's going where. Here, none of that makes any sense. It's really terrible. So, Joy, any final words?
I love that Tarak's computer has a UI setup when Hrithik Roshan logs into Instagram. And I like that, they are both going on this deadly mission, so why not, dance their way out? I love that commitment that the bros need to dance out in a Spanish cafe.
They must have been so happy that they found that dance step. They were like, "This is it. This is
cracked
like meme. The reels pe jo banengi na ispe,
And nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure people will care. But all sponsored by HRX or whatever his sports brand is, shitty shoe wear is. Anyway, Amrita, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and on Blue Sky at Amrita IQ, but more and more you'll find me on Patreon. Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast, has its own Patreon, and I usually post catch-up videos. We have a whole bunch of like behind-the-scenes stuff and new content every week.
Sujoy?
You can find me on all my socials at 93K, and you can find Khandaan Podcast on all our socials at Khandaan Podcast.
Drop us an email at youpodcasting@gmail.com and check out our YouTube essay video that's already dropped. The first one, we're ranking all the Salman Khan movies, and there's a bunch of YouTube content coming. So follow us, subscribe us, comment there. YouTube is a new game for us, so we don't know how it works. And I think a lot of people have been asking and waiting. So the comments we've gotten have been really positive. So do check it out. I'll add the link in the show. And that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening.
Khandaan